Good evening. Welcome to Injustice Investigations. I am your host, Al Scott.
And I'm Toby O'Neal. Thank you for joining us.
I'm trying to pull up something real quick. Just bear with me. Okay. Welcome. Tonight we're broadcasting through Facebook and our YouTube channel, Injustice Investigations Media 7. Today, after delay, R&B singer R.Kelly walked into the New York federal court building to face a long list of charges. We'll tell you how it went in just a sec. Toby, nephew, what's going on?
Not a thing, man. Another day. We here, we blessed. So I can't complain.
That's it. I know you have a subject that you want us to start out with, and I think it's long overdue. It needs to be brought up because it's been silenced for a while now. So I'm gonna give it to you while I pull up some more stuff on R. Kelly, and you can tell us what's going on with this case that you can.
Most definitely. For those who don't know, or for those who do, on Monday, July the 12th, the body of 17-year-old Shamaya Little was found in the 6100 block of Curtis Lane in Shreveport. Shamaya's body was found after she was allegedly abducted at gunpoint on July the 6th near Doug Williams Park. Although she left home in the company of a young male friend who claimed to be a victim of the robbery and kidnapping in which Shamaya was allegedly abducted, we received no further word from the police on the unnamed male friend / victim or a description of the suspect involved in this case. And we need answers. Shreveport Police Department, we need answers. It's long overdue. And for those who don't know, Shamaya was allegedly abducted near Doug Williams Park. When she was abducted, she was in the company of a male friend who had accompanied her from her home to the park. And allegedly somebody came up with a gun, robbed them at gunpoint, and took their phones or whatever and attempted to usher them into some woods or whatever near the park. And allegedly the young male ran off and notified police or whatever and told them what had happened. She allegedly was taken at gunpoint by another suspect. But like I say, as of right now, we don't know anything. You know what I'm saying? And as a community, we need to know something. There was a young black female who was in a community, supposedly at a park, in the company of another male. And there's no way in the world we haven't heard anything about that. We haven't heard anything else from the young male friend who was in her company. We haven't heard a description of a suspect or anything. And it's past time that somebody give us something. But anybody with information pertaining to this case, please call the police department. Please let them know what you know, because whoever did this needs to be brought to justice, because it's ridiculous.
And nephew, I totally agree with you on that. In many ways, in Shreveport, to me, it's eerily quiet.
Exactly.
From the first time I heard the story, it didn't make any earthly damn sense.
And the longer it goes on, the less sense it makes.
Exactly.
Less sense it makes, because that was in the middle of a community, and like I said, there was a witness / victim, and at this point, I feel like he should have gave a description or something. They should have released something to the public, because basically what they're saying has happened is a young female in the company of a male was abducted at gunpoint and later, found the victim of a gunshot wound. And think about this. Basically, somebody abducted a girl off the street with a male counterpart at gunpoint. And if we haven't found that person, what's to say that person is not still out there? What's to say that person haven't did that again? What's to say that person isn't going to do it again? Like, we should be concerned. As citizens of Shreveport, we should be concerned. And that's one case right there. I know there's a lot of stuff happening in Shreveport, but that's the case right there that don't sit well with me. That could have been my daughter. That could have been my daughter. That could have been, a niece. That could have been my sister. That was one of ours.
Exactly. For those of you who might be coming in late, my thing with the case is that you and a young lady are alone at a park. It's at nighttime. Someone walks up, uses a handgun, makes you hand over your cell phone, walk you through the woods. Some kind of way, the brother was able to escape. Now watch this. Toby just said, there's houses right there. Now, had that been me, what I would have done, if I'm going to leave her there and go try to get help or go run and hide, the first house I see, it may not have one light on, I'm going to bam on it anyway. Get to the next one. But this brother allegedly says he ran from Curtis Lane, was it? No, that's where they found the body at the park. What's the name of it?
Doug Williams Park.
Yeah. So he ran from there to the Greenwood Road, where he saw a police officer sit, and he told the officer what had happened. Well, what I'm about to say, it's not a fact. It's just my opinion. And again, it's not a fact. Just my opinion. I'm not trying to pass my fact off as an opinion. Opinion is a fact. The brother said when he saw the cop, he went straight to him and told him what happened. Well, again, this is hypothetically speaking. I don't know if it's true. I'm thinking he was running to go wherever he was going. And then he saw a cop. And maybe he thought the cop was going to stop him because he was running at night like that, just to see what are you out, blase. And that's when he went to the police officer. That is not in the report at all. I'm just saying what I'm thinking. There's many ways that you can look at this, right? What I would have done, there's a guy here with a gun. He's got both our cell phones. Well, I'm not going to leave her. I can't leave her. I can't. I'm the man. This is the woman. She don't have to be your girlfriend. She ought to be your woman. This is a lady. And you leave her there. Didn't make any sense. Now, if you think that doesn't make any sense, watch this. Since when do we leave a witness, Toby? When do we leave a witness alive?
That's no, I'm saying that's it. All of it is wishy-washy. You know what I'm saying? Just like I said, I can't say how I would have reacted being the kid, or you know what I'm saying, the young man that we speaking on, because like I said before, I don't know how that man was raised. I don't know how he was conditioned. You know what I'm saying? I don't know his background. I don't know any of that. And all that plays a part in how you react in situations like that. So exactly. I know we weren't taught to leave women. We weren't taught that. Like, it would have been consequences, and it should be consequences now. His daddy should have, told him better. You know what I'm saying? After it happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, like, but just like I said, the whole thing is wrong. You know what I'm saying? It's like this. I'll put it like this. The whole, like you said, the whole statement of what he said, to me personally, didn't add up. But also, the way the police handled it didn't add up either. The way it's being handled, that didn't add up either. Because I'm like I say, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not in the legal system in no way, shape, or form, so I can't give legal advice. But then I know from a basic standpoint of law, if you are with a victim and you are the last person known to be seen with that victim, you are automatically a suspect in most cases until you can give them a viable suspect, and they can, look at that viable suspect and say, okay, he's had more of a chance of that he's did it than you are. Like usually it's I would be looking at the last person who saw her alive, unless, like I said, you gave me enough information to say, okay, there is somebody else I should be looking for. And if he did that, then the least we should have heard was, okay, this is the description of the suspect allegedly involved in Shamaya's case. So we give us something, but then the police have gave us nothing. So I can only assume that the witness / victim haven't given them enough to give us anything. So in a nutshell, that makes it all suspect.
Exactly. And I remember, I think the mother, I think it was Channel 12, she was doing an interview with, I'm not sure, but I remember her saying that he was talking at first, and then he just shut down.
And see, I never did go back and look that up, but I think I'm seriously thinking. I wanted to check it before I quoted it, but I'm seriously thinking it was something of that nature that she said.
Yes, that's exactly what she said.
Okay.
And the look on her face, I don't think she really trusted the guy in the beginning, just the way I thought she was looking. But again, allegedly, he shut down and stopped cooperating. Well, we knew it wasn't an adult because the report came out and said after they interviewed him, he was released into the custody of his parents.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm told, I don't mean it's true, that the brother didn't have a vehicle, okay? So, where the brother said it happened at, that's not where they found her body. Mm-hmm. So, if it be true, the brother don't have transportation, it's either going to be A or B. He asked somebody, could he use their car when he moved that body? Or 2, somebody went with him to help him put the body in the car and move.
I don't, like I said, Unc, what I don't want to do, you know what I'm saying, is speculate. You know what I'm saying? Like because like that we could go in too many different directions, and like that would steer us away from, you know what I'm saying, like finding out what's going on. But like you said, as a whole, like it don't add up, because just like I said, like never before have I seen a case where, just like I said, think about it. When has a witness been allowed to shut down and just not speak? Somebody died. Like if I was in the company of somebody that had passed away, and I shut down and didn't want to talk, the community would convict me. The community would convict me. Like if you were there and this happened to you, this guy pulled a gun on you and this young lady, and it made you fear for your life so much that you wanted to run off, and then you found out later that the girl that you were in your company, the person that was with you, she's dead. Like I said, mentally, it could have messed with them. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. I don't want to speculate. But like if they're in that situation, if I was him, and I can't say I'm him, but I feel like a person in that situation, in their right mind, like would do anything they possibly could to, help them find the person who did this. And like if he's dealing with a mental issue or something like that, then whoever his parents are, get him some counseling, get him some help, help him try to remember what's going on, get him to the point where he could talk about something, because that baby is gone and that baby is not coming back. And we can't, as a community, if we just say, okay, well, he's not talking, and it's over with. just leave it alone. They go like that don't sit well with me.
And it don't sit well. It don't sit well with me, and it don't sit well with a lot of people in Shreveport because right after it happened, they kept calling it blase, 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 and I think most people were thinking the same thing we're thinking. Something don't make sense. It just doesn't make any earthly sense. But one thing I know we cannot be doing. I'm not saying that's what's going on, but here's what I know we cannot be doing. We cannot be practicing justice on one end of the stick, and on the other end of the stick, we're practicing injustice. We can't do it.
Exactly.
We don't care who somebody knows or where they work at or whatever. We can't do that. No one is above the law, not even the law.
Exactly. And just like I said, we call for police, you know what I'm saying, to be dealt with, you know what I'm saying, in a manner consistent with, the law. And just like I said, we hold them to a higher standard. But just like I said, I've never seen a situation where a person that's a witness to an abduction or a robbery, like that is a capital offense. Think about that first of all. That is a capital offense. You know what I'm saying? That's just not a little run of the mill. Somebody robbed, abducted, and allegedly killed this young lady. That is a capital offense, punishable by death. And you mean to tell me like it's nothing? It's like we haven't even got a report. I think the last report, you know what I'm saying, I saw was the coroner's report. And like I haven't seen a news flash. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing. Like, hey, and the main thing about it is, even if they did do something, like there was an eyewitness there that went through part of what she went through allegedly. He got robbed, and the guy allegedly tried to kidnap him. And just like I said, there is no description. There and the police have put out a description from 5'9" to 6'2", black male between the ages of 25 and 50. You know them, they will put out, a description. And you be like, man, and I look at the description and think, man, that could be all of us. Any one of us could get picked up for that. But amazingly, in this case, where they have a witness who survived, they don't have even a description. They ain't said how tall he was, could have been, how, light skin, dark, like nothing.
Because you would think that even if it wasn't the greatest description, that still they would come to the public and just blase.
Something. Give us something so we know, to start looking. Hey, they haven't even told us be careful. It might be a person out here abducting teens. You know what I'm saying, in y'all community, because we haven't found him yet. And like he could be out here, he could still be out here. Like, be on the lookout for this, or watch your kid. Like, they haven't gave us nothing. And that's how they usually do us in the black community. They don't usually give us nothing. But this is amazing because this was a young black male. If this was, why is this young black male not locked up? Why is this young black male did not get arrested? And okay, we feel like he was involved because he knows something and he's not talking to us. We want to convince him to talk. So I'm quite sure if it was any one of us, if they went to a judge and said, we want to get a warrant for this guy because he was the last person seen with her, and he haven't gave us anything to steer us in any other direction. Most young black males in that situation, the police will be able to easily get a search warrant or an arrest warrant to go out and arrest him.
And when things like this happen, police officers are trying to do one thing. They're trying to rule certain people out within the family who was there with the person last.
Exactly.
So they can go on and try to find who did it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's just like if you call the police when you get home and your wife is dead. Well, in their minds, whether they tell you or not, they thinking you might have done it. Exactly. So how long was this dude interrogated?
Until he shut down. And then was he interrogated again? And then if he was interrogated the first time and he was interrogated the second time, did he give you anything to go on in the form of a suspect description? And if he has, why hasn't the public been notified? Because that guy could be still out here.
And I'm sure there's going to be some people that they're probably watching this tonight that are kind of upset that we're bringing this back up. Well, You are the controller of your emotions, so you deal with that. But you did something. We both did the same thing, but neither one knew that they were doing it, that the other one was doing it until we talked about it one day because I just wanted to go to the park.
Yes.
I just wanted to see for myself, how does it look? And you did the same thing.
Like I said, I'm gonna say this to anybody who might, you know what I'm saying, be upset with me bringing this up. Like, I know her family personally. I know her mother personally. And I apologize to her mother and to her family if anybody has a problem with anything I said about that. And that's fact. I don't mean to do her no disservice in speaking on her. But just like her family, you know what I'm saying, would know, I'm very close with her family. When I say she could have been the child, you know, she could have been my niece, she could have been my daughter. Like, I know her family that close. And it could have been. That's like a relative to me. And I feel serious about the case. So if anybody feels offended or anything, I apologize. No offense meant, but I'm not gonna let it ride. I'm not gonna let it ride until we get answers. And I'm quite sure that if you cared about her and you knew her or anything, you would want answers too. You will want answers too.
Exactly.
And that's all that we're trying to do. We're trying to keep it alive because the news is not doing it. You know, that's like we always say, that's the people who's supposed to inform the community. One of ours died. One of ours was murdered. Mm-hmm. You tell us one of ours was murdered, and then you don't give us any information. You don't give her mother any closure. You don't give her, you know, nothing. Like, for all they know, that person could still be out there. They could be talking to that person on a daily basis and not know because we don't know anything.
And if
that's crazy.
If that would be the case, then other women within the city life could also be
exactly that. But I'm saying the way it happened, the way it happened. She was in the company of a male friend. So think about it. This is not when she was out by herself and somebody abducted her. She was in the company of a male friend. So that means anybody walking to the park nowadays with a friend, you are not safe. Any woman, you could be with your husband. You're not safe. He might try you. He might try your husband if he got a gun. Like, we don't know. We don't know. And I'm going to tell you, a lot of times, I can't speak for her mother personally, but I can only imagine as a mother not knowing.
I think that can also be the worst, not knowing.
I'm quite sure it is. I'm quite sure.
But I attended the funeral, and I forget the pastor's name who did the eulogy, and it was wonderful. Somewhere in there, he stopped, and he focused on a little boy, I think, sitting on the front row, and he said he was laughing, and he wanted to know why was he laughing, because from the time he got up to preach, the little boy was crying. But something the pastor said made him laugh. So the pastor asked him, "What relations are you to this family?" And he looked. He said, "That's my sister." He didn't say that was his sister. He said, "That's my sister."
Already, man. Already.
You could hear a piece of cotton falling, and I'm sensitive anyway, so that tear comes down, and it's a hard a hard pill to swallow. You know, when we don't know, just to lose your sister, period. But
you don't
that
know.
Was
you don't know. You don't know, man. You don't know. I couldn't imagine not knowing. Tell me something. Tell me something. And just like I said, like, they don't know. I don't know if the police have been in contact with them. You know what I'm saying? But like, I contacted a family member that's pretty close to the situation, and she said they still haven't heard anything. And like, I couldn't imagine. You tell me, you know what I'm saying, my child is missing. Then you tell me they found my child. It ain't no a heart attack, like somebody shot her. You know what I'm saying? And then you tell me, well, that's all the information we have. We don't have anything else. Like, I couldn't imagine. And
Yeah, it wouldn't be. Yeah, it
again,
wouldn't be good. Yeah, it wouldn't be good enough for me.
exactly. And so just like I said, as a person who know her, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not cool with me. It's not cool with me. And to any family members, anything that might be watching, anybody that know the family, man, my condolences to the family. And like I said, answers. Somebody give us some answers. Somebody tell us something.
This case is not about a celebrity. This case is about a predator. Today, the federal trial of R.Kelly got underway. The prosecutors, they came out hard. Toby, in a bit, is going to briefly break down some of the laws that he's being charged with, so you know why he has that charge. They said that R.Kelly had them to do some degrading things, and he would videotape them. And one, I guess, be for his own amusement, but the prosecutor said the number one reason he did that was he walked around with that in his pocket. He kept it in his pocket. Collateral. If you try to leave, or if you tell someone about what I've done, remember I got this. Remember I got this. R. Kelly is facing some serious jail time. Serious jail time. The prosecutor says they had an enterprise. But it didn't do it by itself. He had drivers, he had aides, assistants, bodyguards. Everybody knew about it, and everybody knew their role. They knew their place, where they were supposed to be. And they kept their mouth shut. They kept their mouth shut because we're talking about R. Kelly, the one and only. The first witness that the prosecutor called was Miss Pace, 28 years old. She testified once about being a fan of R. Kelly. She also said that his name was tattooed on her left breast at his suggestion.
Keyword suggestion. Keyword suggestion.
You might. Pace said that their relationship became difficult. Kelly was demanding that she call him daddy. Call me daddy.
Oh, he was demanding that. Okay.
And she had to get his permission to go to the bathroom. She says, and I'm paraphrasing here, one time that he choked her out. He choked her until she passed out. Until she passed out. R. Kelly is a monster in human form. I don't care how you look. I don't care if you're in love with him. I don't care if you're black, white, male, or female. Something mentally has to be wrong with you all when you keep trying to defend R. Kelly. R. Kelly is a predator. That's what he is. And whether you know it or not, there's absolutely, positively, unquestionable, there is no defense for absolute wrong. No. Now, before we get off into a little deep here, I'm going to let Toby tell you about some of the laws that he's charged with, and he's going to break it down so you know what he's been charged with.
Well, basically, racketeering is the RICO Act. That act was passed to fight organized crime. And in order for them to fight organized crime, they wanted to get the top people in the organization. And due to the fact that a lot of the top people in the crime organizations weren't actually hands-on in the illegal dealings, they had to come up with a way to tie the people who was doing the illegal dealings to the people who were calling the shots.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, with the R.Kelly case, since they couldn't convict him in state court on the charges and he beat those charges, they decided to go federal with it. And basically what they did was they rounded up as many of the enablers who had actually committed the crimes for R. Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, if they're alleging that somebody transported a girl across state lines for the purpose, an underage girl for the purpose of having sex, that means that somebody either flew or somebody drove her across state lines, you know, for the purpose of illegal activities, which was to have sex. But the thing about it was, in most of these cases, R. Kelly wasn't a driver. So basically, what the feds had to do was they had to catch all these accomplices and get them to tell on themselves. So they would have had, in the case of transporting a underage girl across state lines for illegal purposes, they would have to get the driver to say, I transported the girl across state lines, but I did it on behalf of the boss, is basically what they're saying. So, like I said, they basically, all the people that was benefiting from it and all the people that was enabling him to do the stuff he was able to do for so long without
Mm-hmm.
getting caught, finally decided to flip. And I'm gonna say this, because like I tell people all the time, I haven't been, you know what I'm saying, on the straight and narrow all my life. I was in the criminal element in my lifetime. And I don't, you know, never dabble into underage girls, but I have done illegal things. So a hypothetical would be me taking the young girls out of the situation and saying we're dealing drugs. If we were dealing drugs and I told a guy or partner that was in my organization, hey man, I need you to make this run for me. I need you to go take this here, or I need you to pick this up and bring this back here. That's a business understanding. Whatever benefit he's getting, whether he's getting paid or he's getting the perks of being a part of the organization or whatever it was, he knows what he's doing. When I ask him to do something illegal, it is his decision to say, yes, I'm going to do this, or no, I'm not going to do that because that's wrong. That's illegal.
Exactly.
So these people knowingly, allegedly, went and committed these crimes. And when these people came and said, hey, we're about to wash him down, and we know you did this and this because this person said you did this, they decided to do what we formerly call snitching. They are snitches because all of them were involved in what was going on knowingly, and all of them benefited from the R. Kelly organization for doing what he needed them to do, even if it was illegal. So that right there makes them snitches, because if I decide I'm going to do something with you and then you get caught or they come and threaten me, like, it is up to me to say, no, I did this. I was a part of it. I knew I was doing wrong then. I'm going to hold my tongue, or I'm going to roll over on the same guys who I were committing wrong with. That's the essence of snitching.
That's it. You know, to go back with what you were saying about people who knew what was going on, the bodyguards, the drivers, the lawyers, they were all helping to keep the crime covered up. They had to be ready at a moment's notice to go get a girl. or go get a woman to bring that individual wherever R. Kelly was. R. Kelly is accused of making his victims demonstrate absolute commitment to him and to obey his strict rules, including that they eat or go to the bathroom only with permission, not look at other men and call him dad. Now, position determines perspective. What you see depends upon where you stand. Toby and I can be looking at a painting, a picture, and we're just sitting there. We got a notepad. We see in the same picture, but we both have to separate to write what we saw. Each one of us have seen something different, and so many people see R. Kelly as being a victim because you want it to be that way. You want it to be that way. Just because you want R. Kelly to be innocent doesn't mean he's innocent. R. Kelly's not innocent. He's not. Some of these women were outright terrified of R. Kelly. He made them do strange sex acts, do things to their bodies that they normally probably wouldn't do. And he would film them doing that and would hold that over their heads. If you tell, blah, 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 I'm going to bring this out. So how much more do you have to hear or see to know that everybody is not lying on R. Kelly? The prosecutor opened up saying R. Kelly is a predator. R. Kelly still denies all allegations against him. All of them. And we've shared the document on our Injustice Facebook page. Toby, do you see an opening to where a plea bargain will come up? Because I think just about everybody in his entourage is throwing him up on the bus.
And they need to give R. Kelly whatever kind of suit he want to wear to the trial. And R. Kelly needs to stand up in the courtroom and call all them snitching MFs just what they are, because y'all ate off that man's plate. You know what I'm saying? That man fed y'all. That man fed y'all families. That man, you know what I'm saying, did anything. And just like I say, if you are in that entourage and you are taking that stand to say something you saw, which that's circumstantial. So you're going to have to say something you did to help that enterprise and to help him commit those crimes. So if you take the stand and turn over on this man, and you know in your heart you never said, hey, Robert, man, or hey, you know this wrong, man, you shouldn't be doing this. Hey, man, exactly. You got a problem. You need to get help or something to try to discourage this man from doing what he was doing. If you stood by and you reaped the benefits and you reaped the rewards and you helped him, your name should have been on that indictment too. It ain't nowhere in the world it should have been assistant or hangers on or entourage. No, your name should have been on there too. Your name should have been on there too, because if you never said, hey man, this has to stop, if you didn't leave and leave the situation because you couldn't deal with it and went to somebody, if that's not the story, if it's the story like the dude, you know what I'm saying, who went and got all the paperwork done allegedly for Aaliyah's marriage, if it's you, dude, you know what I'm saying, you should really, know what I'm saying, feel like you the slum of the earth, because you was there the whole time. You was there the whole time. You was the witness to it.
Exactly. I totally agree with that. I don't, but I know why they're making the deals, because they want him just that bad. But
they want him.
Me, I would be just like you. We're not going to give you a deal. Now, here's the thing: if this happened one time or 2 days, and that was the end of it, and that comes up, I might try to work with you and give you a deal. But this went on for a long time.
That's what I'm saying.
So
That's what I'm saying.
if you don't condemn, then you condone.
Okay, we're gonna go back to the streets. We're gonna take it. We're gonna take the girls out of it, and we're gonna put drugs in it again. Okay. If I was in the position of R.Kelly, I was the boss, and we were all dealing drugs. Like if you know what I'm saying, took down the head. If you allow everybody under me to sell drugs and make their money and live their life how they wanted to live, but then when they got caught, you told them all you have to do is snitch on him and we'll let you go. Like that's not solving the problem, because you still gonna have them out there selling drugs. And it's the same thing with this. It's child sex trafficking. Somebody basically rented their child out to R. Kelly, and these other guys or other people help make the transaction possible, and he's the only one on trial, and they get to walk away. So if they are not, convicted, usually, just like I told you before, if it wasn't R. Kelly, if it was anybody else, this wouldn't just be a trial against R. Kelly and those unnamed people. This would be a sex trafficking ring. They would have named a whole bunch of more people, but they just want R. Kelly. But if this was a sex trafficking case, like it is, they would have named a bunch of more people, and they would have locked up a bunch of more people. And that's all I'm saying. Yeah. Everybody got a pass.
I'm gonna read a couple of comments real quick. I didn't get to say hello to y'all at first because we have a different setup and I can't really see your comments. Where's the lady? Faithful Queen says R. Kelly is innocent until proven guilty.
He is. He is. He is. He is. But just like I said, everybody at this point, it's been in the news and it's been going on for umpteen years. So everybody at this point has an opinion. I'm quite sure.
Rich David says all those alleged women were predators and their parents pimp. They sought to do anything for money.
What did they do for money? What did they do for money?
They would do anything.
If anything included sex, they were underaged. And by law, they was not old enough to give consent. So by law, that was illegal.
Right. And the other charges when which is federal, when you take them across the state line for the purpose of prostitution or having sex with them.
Because like they are underage. That's the key thing in here. You know what I'm saying? And just like I said, we can go into the fact that I know underage girls. I was 16 at one time. I know the underage girls around my way that was 15 and 16. They wasn't dating teenagers. They was dating older guys. And just like I said, as a community, we became cool with it. So just like I said, we'll say all the girls were this or the girls were that. But then if even one of them was a real victim, then what? Then what are you going to say? You know what I'm saying? Because just like I said, if your daughter, you know what I'm saying, is going through something and end up somewhere in the wrong situation with the wrong people, is it okay to take advantage of it? Just because she ended up in that situation?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Just because she ended up in that situation, that don't make it okay for somebody that knows better to take advantage of it.
You just made a lot of good points. This is what I think when it came to R. Kelly girls and boys and grown women. They know R. Kelly. They work with. They know what he like. They know what he don't like. They know what's going to please him and what will not. So I think a lot of times they went out looking for. It's just my opinion. Girls, women, and boys that was naive in thinking, or they were so infatuated with R. that he could get them to do whatever he wanted them to do because he is R. Kelly. And for the most part,
the dope dealers were R. Kelly in the hood.
What's that?
The dope dealers was the R. Kellys of the hood. The dope dealers were the R. Kellys of the hood. So I've known times in the hood where a 15, 6-year-old get catch the eye of the dope dealer, and mama says it's okay because that's the dope dealer. He has money. He has things that he can give her. He can give mom. When he, gives her money, she comes back home and gives mom some money and all of that. And like, it's been cool in the community. So that's the mentality a lot of us come with. But at the same time, is it wrong or is it right? That's what it boiled down to. We talking about the law. And
so,
based on the law, it's wrong. Regardless of how we feel about it, regardless of how we feel about the females. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, R. Kelly allowed himself to be put in situations that he shouldn't allow himself to be put in because he's R. Kelly.
Exactly. When the first trial, we've been talking about it a lot. Before he left the courthouse ground, he had his personal number on a card for a child. The manager gave it to her. So in the courtroom, he wasn't thinking about what the hell was going on in there. They were looking at one another. He wanted that. She was skipping school or wherever she was at. So R. Kelly, here's what he said. I have no regards for the law. I have no regards or no respect for the damn women because I'm going to get them and I'm going to treat them the way I want to treat them. If they want to be with me, they're going to do the fuck I tell them to. That was R. Kelly. That was his mind. So before he left the ground, he just done it again. He done it again. There is no defense again for absolute wrongs. You got to study the law. Your feelings about R. Kelly don't mean a damn thing in the courtroom. It's what the prosecutors are bringing inside that courtroom. And I promise you, they're going to bring some things up in that courtroom that nobody knew about. Go ahead, Toby.
Hey, it is what it is. Just like I said, the one thing we know is, you know what I'm saying, it's man, look, allegedly, we'll say that allegedly there are tapes. Like I wouldn't never, you know what I'm saying? That's just like that in the sense, even that was before social media. But that's just like the people who go live nowadays, and you got the weed in the picture, and you got the money in the picture, or you got the drugs in the picture and the guns in the picture. You know, like it's just some stuff that's not good for promotion, man. It's just some stuff that's not good for promotion.
Okay, Tammy said that girl wasn't underage, though. Okay, well, she may not have been underage, but the fact is, R. Kelly was still having dirty thoughts and getting ready to do something wrong. I mean, I don't care if she was 69 years old. When you got to realize this here, R. Kelly just wasn't violating little girls. He was violating women with no respect for them, locking them up. He did it. He did it. He did it. The girl said he had me to shit in a cup and he filmed me while I was doing it. He did it. He did it. And you know what? Someone says, well, you weren't there. You don't know. Well, you weren't there either, but the police wasn't there. But you can put two and two together, look at the evidence, and say, he did. He did. R. Kelly is a predator.
Now this is what I draw the line. Like I said, anybody that's of age of consent, like you, just like I tell you with anybody when it comes to that, you can't tell me you felt pressured. You felt pressured. Did he apply pressure physically? Did he make you? Did he threaten you? Did he say, hey, you don't do this, I'm going to do something like that? Like when it comes to age of consent, that's like I said, with the young girls. Some of these young girls decided, I'm gonna do this because this is R. Kelly. And some of the women decided, hey, I'm gonna do this because this R. Kelly. And I don't knock that.
Exactly.
But at the same time, it's a difference between somebody who's not old enough to give consent and the person that's old enough to say no and doesn't.
And so, but you make a good point. But watch this here. Some women, grown women, are so happy to be with him. They've never done the things he wanted to do. Okay, I'll do it. Just like the pastor brainwashed the people. R. Kelly was just like that. He was the damn Jim Jones of the R&B.
But see, if you get into that, then like I've talked some women into doing some strange things, and I would never want them to come back and say, I wasn't in my right mind, or just because that was Toby, I did it, and people say, okay, well, that's wrong, Toby.
I've
You
done the
use
same
your
thing too.
influence. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
I've
use
done the
your
same thing.
influence. You use your influence, to get her to do something strange for a piece of change. And
For people
Toby,
change, huh?
yeah,
Not
you
for
wrong.
play.
You're wrong for that, Toby. Like I said, it's different. That's just like I heard one of the and I said this before on one of the shows. Like,
Uh-huh.
if God forbid, if my daughter watching it right now, she's grown now, but my daughter was young. She had a crush on Justin Bieber, and I used to know she loved Justin Bieber. And like, I just talking to her, you know what I'm saying? God forbid if she watching right now, I know she gonna laugh and be mad at me. But I was talking to her about this type of stuff, R. Kelly. And I asked her really, I said, now think about it, because they said at one point in time, somebody was at an R. Kelly concert and wanted to go backstage and see R. Kelly. And allegedly, one of the people said, before y'all go in the room, y'all gonna have to take y'all blouse off. Y'all don't have to take your tops off and go in topless, allegedly. Now, the girl said her homegirl was ready to go in, this and the third, know what I'm saying? She said she didn't want to go in, but she didn't want to let her homegirl go in. Anyway, she went in. Now, allegedly, she took her shirt off and went in, and allegedly, she made an accusation. Like, how can you make an accusation? How, like, and that, be real. And like, I bring my daughter up because when she liked Justin Bieber at the time, she was right around that age, 15 to 16. And I said, you know what? I said, I'm gonna be honest with you because I know you and you my daughter. I said, if you was at a Justin Bieber concert and Justin Bieber asked you to take your top off, you would probably take your top off. And she said, I probably would. I would have. And I said, and I'm being a dad, I would still want to kill Justin Bieber. Even if my daughter did, do that. Like, I would still want it, but I'm just saying, like, and if Justin Bieber took it further because my daughter did that, that doesn't make it right with Justin Bieber, because Justin Bieber was an adult and he knows as an adult, like it's no, you know what I'm saying? It's no thing like you knew.
Right now, listen, yeah, that's true. I mean, I agree with that. And also, my opinion again, I know, or at least I believe, some of the women are lying on some things. I just believe that they are lying on some things. Because if you notice, Toby, I don't think none of them, or maybe one or two, went to the police first.
It was a couple.
With not a high price, yeah, but majority of them looking for this high price attorney because they didn't want him to go to jail. They wanted his money.
Because it's just like I said, we know it was good until the money ran out.
Exactly.
And personally, I believe in his case, you know what I'm saying? Like when you got too old. I believe, seriously, I believe, and that's a personal opinion, but I believe the girls that got too old, you know what I'm saying? Like,
he wouldn't play no more.
And then you know what I'm saying? Like when I'm not the one no more, then I feel some type of way because you have somebody new. Like I believe that was the Sparkle situation, and like I believe that. But at the end of the day, still, if unless we say none of that's true, none of it's true, it's all lies. And just like I said, that to me, it goes back to the payouts. It goes back to the payouts. And just like I said, I can't speak for that guy,
right?
Because I'm not that guy. But I know me, and I wouldn't care if I had $1 trillion. I wouldn't just get to giving it away to people because they lying on me. To get them to sign statements or get them to sign agreements saying they won't talk about stuff that never happened, or they won't say I did stuff that I never did. Like that's just me. And like I said, I form my opinion.
So I'm gonna read. Okay, I'm gonna read a comment for you. I'll let you respond to it. It's from James Wesley Jr. I think it says, "Hey y'all, the fact of the matter is, R. Kelly signed that agreement with Lucifer for riches and fame." Did he?
I believe it. Because like we don't for us, we don't understand it because like I said, a lot of us, you know what I'm saying? It's like the it's not wrong until you get caught mentality, or I'm just living my life, and you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna do what's available to me. You know what I'm saying. The people that get around people where drugs is plentiful, they take drugs, or you know, they like it's a mentality, but it is what it is. Like that is evil.
Exactly.
That is evil, and at some point, just like we all know, it's a choice. It's a choice, and just like I said, in a sense, in the sense, he did sell his soul to the devil. In the sense, he did. Yes.
Right. And you know what? In so many ways, if you listen to his music, and yes, I still listen to R. Kelly music. Yes, I still listen to it because
I listen to it
I'm
too.
a fan of his work. I'm not a fan of R. Kelly. But if you listen to some of the things he said, he tells you, I'm a blessing and I'm a curse. It's almost like he's trapped in something and don't know how to come out of it. You know, I'm a blessing and I'm a curse. And he, you know, I believe that's exactly what he is. But it goes back to when you're taking girls or women across the state line and you're taking advantage of them, making them do things that they normally wouldn't do, just because your name is R. Kelly. Well, that's a problem. That's a serious problem, you know. So I guess we have to say all those that work for R. Kelly, who are telling on R. Kelly, so all of them have to be lying. If you said the alleged victims are lying, and I believe there's a lot of truth to what some of them are saying. I also believe that some are lying. You know, they may be adding something that really didn't happen, but when the prosecutor says he walks around with collateral in his back pocket in case you want to get out of line, he's going to play this tape and say, "You see what you did? You see what you did?"
But again, if I'm in a situation where they alleging you did something and you haven't did anything, and they come to me and they want to arrest me, we ain't did nothing. It's simple. We haven't did anything. And just like I said, in that situation with each one of those witnesses, in order to be a witness, know what I'm saying, a conspirator, you have to tell what you did in connection with what he did. You have to tell that part. So you have to be, so just like I said, if nothing ever happened, nobody, that's what it should have been when people tried to sue you. It should have been, man, I'm not paying nobody because nothing ever happened. Most of these people, if nothing ever happened, then nothing ever happened. You can't convict, like you saying, okay, well, if you don't tell what happened, then I'm gonna convict. You can't convict me of nothing because nothing happened. I don't understand. Like, we dealing with the law. Just like I said, if you can be swayed to lie on somebody, God rest your soul. God, you know, God bless your soul, because you an evil mother. You an evil MF. If you can be convinced, if they came to you, and let me say this before we go. Believe me, I personally know that people will tell lies on you. People will take the stand and tell lies on you. I personally know that. So don't mistake that. I know this, but that's too many people. That's too many people
to be lying, right? But
and too many corroborating stories.
Exactly. And these women a lot of them didn't know each other. But you're absolutely positively right. They will lie on you, and most people will believe a lie before they believe. So, I mean, all they got to do is say, "You did, I did such and such." Okay, he did it, and automatically he did it. I know it did, and you really don't, you know, because you have very, very little information. People, they will lie for whatever reason that they're doing it. Now, this is what I think. This is my opinion. This is not a fact. This is just my opinion. I'm not trying to pass my opinion off as a fact. I've said this before. I think the young lady name was Linda Carter, I think. If somebody know her name, correct me, please, if I'm wrong. But that was a young lady who was braiding R. Kelly's hair. I believe she was sent there on purpose. She had a mission. This is not a fact. It's just my opinion. I'm just throwing something out there. You know, whatever sticks, it sticks. She alleges that when people would talk bad about R. Kelly, said ugly things about R. Kelly, she would defend him because it would hurt her, and she would say, "No, he's a gentleman. He's a perfect gentleman. I've been with him all the time. He's a gentleman. You gotta get to know him." She praised him. Well, here's what I think she was doing. I think she was setting the stage for what she was getting ready to do. This is the same woman that defended you, spoke up on you, and you tried to do this to her. You see what I'm going? I'm not saying it's true. I'm just throwing something out there. Don't forget, she was, I guess, in another room in the hotel. She was called up, braid on his hair. And when she get there, R. Kelly says he wants a head massage. Well, she says okay, because she's gonna braid his hair. But he was talking about something else, and I didn't catch it for 2 days later. But anyway, so she didn't want to do it, and he was trying to make her do it. So he pulled her hair. She got down there, and she alleged that he spit in the face 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. I don't know any human on the face of the earth would sit and count how many times a person spit in their face. When you spit him out, the one time I've lost count right there and there. But somebody knocked on the door, and allegedly, she says, R. Kelly says, something to the extent about, fix your fucking face, fix your fucking face. And then so she goes in the bathroom. She comes back out. She remembered there was a yellow and a white towel in there. I don't know why in the hell you trying to remember that, and he was just trying to make you do something sexual that you didn't want to do. So if somebody knocked on the door, I'm thinking whoever that person was, they're still in there, or maybe they're gone. But let's say they were still in there. Why she didn't holler rape or attempted rape? Why she just leave out? Look, I mean, I'm just throwing something out there.
With the whole thing though, just like I said, it was a beneficial situation for a lot of people, even those involved. You know what I'm saying? And that's just like I said, that's the way the game is. You know what I'm saying? Like the drug dealers found out the same thing when they fell off and they didn't have the money. You know what I'm saying? To take care of people and to look out for people. People turn their back on them. You know what I'm saying? And that's basically it. But just like I said, at the end of the day, if 16-year-old women go to an adult male to swindle him, he has to allow himself to be swindled. He have to allow himself to be put in a situation to where I can come back and I can threaten to lie on you so convincingly that you will pay me to keep me quiet. So it don't add up. It's just like I can think. And just like I said, I'm not an R. Kelly person like I'm not a Robert fan. I like R. Kelly music. I don't know Robert. And that you know what I'm saying? Like I've never met Robert in my life. I don't know. I know, just like we always talk about, I know Robert's persona. I know R. Kelly and what the media is presented and what R. Kelly has presented, but I don't know Robert. So I can't speak on Robert. That's why I said I speak on the facts of the case and what's been put out. You know what I'm saying, on the case, along with my personal opinion. And just like I said, because mine's isn't the same as yours, it doesn't mean you haven't formed one. So just like you had the right to take it all in on your level and form your own opinion, I took it in on my level and I formed my own opinion.
Exactly. So Kelly has a host of charges that sent him to prison for decades.
He washed. He washed. In hood terminology, he washed. He washed because you got the same people that basically help you sell the drugs to tell on you. And just like I said, these people have been promised that they're going to get away with it and they're going to incriminate themselves just to incriminate you because they get to go home at the end of the day. And just like I said, that's the one thing about conspiracy. If it was one person saying it, then it would be your word against Kelly's. But there's more than one person saying it. There are people saying it. There are tapes to corroborate some of the stuff people saying. There are documents and other stuff that has been entered that will corroborate some of the stuff people are saying. And basically, like I said about the conspiracy case, if me and you were sitting here on the screen talking about committing a crime, every person that's watching this is a conspirator. And the police say it is your job to report it. So if they hear us online right here talking about a crime and they don't report it and the crime actually takes place, all of them could be conspirators because you knew about the crime before it was committed and you didn't do anything to stop it. Think about
Exactly.
it.
And
Yes.
exactly. And with the feds or state, they're going to listen to what the alleged victim has to say. But they also, hopefully, they're supposed to do it. They're going to do their homework.
Oh yeah.
Because you're not supposed to bring hearsay into the courtroom. You got to prove that what they're telling you is the gospel. At least some of it is before you say, "I'm going to put you on the stand." So they're going to do their homework too. You know.
But
But
I'm going to ask you, just like I said, whether you're a politician, whether you're a preacher, whether you're this, one of the main things that I believe solidified when people said, you know what I'm saying? Think about anybody. Think about the good um um the locked up minister, the locked up pastor. You know what I'm saying? Think about it though. Think about it. It's like when those girls said, "Hey, I was there." They went and they searched and they got the sheets and everything. They didn't find no DNA and everything. But you remember, they said the layout of the room, where he had specific stuff. You know, this, think about that. Like that plays a lot when those witnesses come forward. Because
exactly.
in as a minister, as R.Kelly, as anybody, like if I found out that an underage girl, you had my bodyguard, anybody had brought an underage girl into my house, into my bedroom, to the point where she can describe my bedroom layout and she can describe details about my bed. Like that stuff there can't be argued with. If it was an adult, we can say, okay, you were there on your own. I'm gonna give you an example. You remember the Mike Tyson case?
Oh yeah, Robin.
Okay, did you remember? No, not the Robin, the girl that was in the beauty pageant that they
Right.
showed him on camera flirting with, and then they told a story about she was riding with him, and he said, "Hey, come up to my room," and this and that. That was suspect. That was because you an adult. You could have said no, no, I don't. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know what actually happened when you got up there, but as a woman, you riding with Mike Tyson. He got you in the limo. If he say, "Hey, come up to my hotel room," you know what do you think is going on? And she said, "Well, he said I was with him because he was gonna give my an autograph for my dad." So you didn't did all this riding with him and everything. Like it's like that. Those kind of cases, like you said, that's a reach. But at the end of the day, even when I feel like she was lying and she baited him in, at the end of the day, she was an adult. If that was a child, I could have felt the same way, but that don't make it right because that's a child. Yes, I could feel the same way. Like we could feel like those girls may have, played the role. Because they were old enough to say no, they were old enough to say yes. But by law, they were not. By law.
I'm going to
So
read just a quick uh, uh, piece from the indictment. It says,
and let me say something.
go ahead.
I got a message back from the aunt. I got a message back from the aunt. I messaged her before the show to tell her that I was gonna bring it up, and she messaged me back, and she said, "Okay, that will be great. Thanks, fam. I will be watching. So if you watching,
Amen.
I love y'all, and like I said, y'all know that's family. So I'm gonna do what I can. We're gonna do what we can to keep it alive and until we get answers."
Right. So just call us, and whatever you guys need, we will be there to help you all. When Kelly identified a woman or girl who he wished to see again, he either gave his contact information to the woman or girl or obtained her contact information and relied upon members of his enterprise to do so. Following these events, Kelly communicated with certain women and girls by telephone, including through the use of traditional telephone calls, text messages, iMessages, and FaceTime.
I wish I could do a poll of all the R. Kelly women supporters. I will wish I could ask each one of them in private, because I don't think they would answer in person. But I wish I could ask them in private when you were young, because when they were young, R.Kelly would be what they call a sugar daddy. That's
Exactly.
he wouldn't be no pedophile. He'd be a sugar daddy. That's why I said it in the hood, you know, we made it okay. Exactly. Think about it. In the hood, that's what it would be. He wouldn't be no child molester. He wouldn't be no pedophile. He'd just be a sugar daddy. He'll be the older family member, like we were saying, that here go $10. Don't tell your mama I gave you that. Or he'll be the one standing around and say she gonna be bad when she grow up. You know what I'm saying? Like it became so commonplace in the black community to the point where that's how we look at it with the R.Kelly case. You know what I'm saying? Like exactly. they wasn't young. They was 15 and 16. They was just a sugar daddy. He was just
and you know what? That's a great point, because that's what he would really be. He would be called a sugar daddy. You know,
and that's how a lot of them look at it. Like he ain't did nothing that Uncle Willie ain't did, or you know what I'm saying? Like he ain't did nothing. He did. They knew what they was doing. They knew they little fast tails or whatever. You know, you'll clean it up. But at the end of the day, like I said, it was against the law and it was wrong. And if they would have caught Uncle Willie ass, they would have locked him up.
Exactly. Something you said earlier when we were on the phone, and we were talking about, and I just lost my thought. What I was going to ask you. I have no earthly idea, but either way it goes. I know what it was. Kelly had an opportunity to leave it alone. If I'm known for meeting girls or boys or women at McDonald's, I might need to just stay away from there, even though I'm going today because I really just want something to eat. But you've been in some serious trouble and you got out of it. And people, they're going to talk about you regardless, but just make sure what they're saying about you, R.Kelly, is a lie. But if you keep going back to the school, Toby, and you're hanging out, I know you're not finna tutor no damn body. I know that for a fact while you're there. You're going back to some of the same spots that was giving you a black eye. And you might not be doing nothing now. But it don't take intelligence for this. Common sense said, well, let me back up. Or let me just stop. Let me go this way. Let me go that way. But when we keep doing that, it's almost like you're playing with the system.
I don't, just like I said, I can't understand it because, but just like I said, that's why I really believe, and that, remember I talked to you about it. I really believe, and not just the sexual problem. Dude has a problem. Like, dude has issues that, you know what I'm saying, need to be worked out. And just like I told you, even though I feel like dude, you know what I'm saying, did a lot of what they say he did. Like, dude, you know what I'm saying, locking dude in a cage, you know what I'm saying, putting dude in a cage somewhere is not going to help him. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to help him. You know what I'm saying? And like, that's the thing about it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, with the people that, Whitney Houston or anybody, everybody that bought her drugs, everybody that didn't say, hey, Whitney, you know, you need help, or the people, the family members that never tried to, you know, get her in rehab, or, you know, like, everybody play a role, man. Everybody play a role. And that's my whole thing with it.
If you send a man, right, and so if you send a man to prison, and so have to go, we know that. But let's stick it out here. If you sit R.Kelly in a box, so that's what you're gonna do. You're gonna sit him in a box for a certain amount of time. Okay, you've been a good boy, we're gonna let you go. But we still hadn't dealt with the issue that has him here.
Exactly.
You're just punishing him. I mean, huh? What you said, Toby?
I said exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
exactly.
So yeah, when you put him in a box and okay, you've been a good boy, bye, Kelly, don't do that again. What have you done? Nothing. Because he hasn't had any help, and he admitted one time to a former lawyer that he know he needs the help. Knowing you need help and getting help are two different things. You know, so he needs help, and I'm in agreement with that he needs help, and I don't think sending him to prison is going to help him in it. But you know, the law is the law, so That's just like a family member. I mean, we love our family members, but hell, I mean, if they did it, then they did it. But and then see, when you speak about being hurt or pissed because they're going to prison, you have to realize this: you're not looking at what the law says. Your emotions are acting up, and that's okay because you love this person. But it's the law, not emotion. It's the law in the courtroom that counts. It's as simple as that. I hated for Kelly in many ways, but R.Kelly should have hated it more than I did, and he wouldn't be
Exactly.
back in this predicament.
Exactly. 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 Because just like I said, even Mike Tyson, they talk about, Mike Tyson it been hit in the head too many times, but at least he had enough after he got caught the first time to say, okay, well, I'm gonna start making them sign agreements saying everything is consensual. Like I'm gonna cover myself because I'm not gonna keep coming out of my pocket paying people that acting like they down, and then once it go down, then it's a problem. Like, no, like I said, you gotta watch how the situations you put yourself in, and just like I
Exactly.
said, hanging with what our mom used to tell us, hanging with your friends. You know what I'm saying?
That's
When you
it.
hanging with your friends and your friends doing wrong and you get caught up,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
you got to take that
Exactly.
ride. You got to accept the
Exactly.
consequences for allowing yourself, you know what I'm saying, putting yourself in a situation. So if nothing else,
Exactly.
like I said, he allowed himself to be put in too many bad situations.
Exactly. Exactly. And so sometimes even if you're innocent, the way you're acting and the things you continue to do, it makes us rethink what we thought at first, and you might be guilty. It's like someone said the other night when you and I was speaking on the good pastor,
Mm-hmm.
and someone called in, or either they left it in the comment section, said, "Well, the way the family's acting, if he's not guilty, they making him look guilty."
Exactly. And it's the same thing. Just like I said in the beginning, I knew the Aaliyah case. You know what I'm saying? I
Exactly.
was deep into hip hop and music back then. I read every article and every magazine, everything. So I was all on top of that when it came out in the public. And just like I said, like we knew it. But in that mind back then, in that mind frame, I'm still in the neighborhood mind frame. He was a sugar daddy. Like think about it. Most of the people in the industry sleep their way into the industry. Like we know this. Like that's never, you know what I'm saying, been hidden. They try to keep it hidden, but they call it the casting couch. Everybody in Hollywood know the casting couch. Like
Exactly.
some people want the role more than other people, and they willing to do a little more for the role. But it's been going on forever. So the people know the story of Lil Kim and how she was sleeping with Biggie, and that's how she got in. A lot of people, even men, some men they say have done something strange to get their foot in the door. You know what I'm saying? So
Exactly.
that's been forever. But the thing about it is, yeah, the thing
Exactly.
about it is, just like I said, just because it's been going on, don't make it legal, don't make it cool.
Exactly. Exactly. And since you said that, I've always said it, and I'm gonna say it now, and I stand on it. I just don't think R. Kelly should be the only one that's on trial.
No,
He should.
no,
R. Kelly had an entourage of an entourage of an entourage. So you can't. I mean, you're giving out all these deals because I know you want him locked up so damn bad, but you're still making things bad in society for other kids because they
exactly.
went along with this
Ain't
shit.
no
And I promise you,
consequences.
somewhere down the line, they was having sex with them too. So
Like
everybody go get a break. No, lock them up too.
like the lady said about everybody else, like the moms. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. If there's no consequences for the mom who sells her child, basically, you know what I'm saying, or rents her child out. If there are no consequences for the mom, what's to stop the next mom from doing the same thing when the next singer come along or the next guy comes along who promised them a big break? Like we know it happened all the time. It happens. Look at the
It does.
what is it, Larry Nasser guy? You know what I'm saying? Who
Mm-hmm.
was molesting all the gymnasts. No, a lot of them
Mm-hmm.
parents were in the same room, but it's like you wanted it so bad for your child. You wanted your child to be successful so bad to the point where I believe you turned a blind eye. And it's like, just like I told you about that case, those were not black people, those were white people. But I say the same thing. It's parents in there that should have been held accountable. Like, how did you not know? Like when the little girl testified, that he was hurting me right there in the room with you. When you were right there well, I didn't know he was. Well, you were right there in the room, Mom. Well, I didn't know he was hurting you. Why? Like, come on. And just like I said, it's like anybody. Like I said, if I'm going to pick up a child, just like I told you before, I've been in a situation where I had my mindset on doing somebody bodily harm and actually taking a life. But when I saw another life, a young girl, like it clicked, something clicked. So even if you didn't know if this guy said, hey, go pick up, Angie Martinez, she gonna be at the airport, and you go stand out there with an Angie Martinez sign and a little young girl pull up, like you knowing, okay, this girl is young, like you knowing is like in the process of doing this, and you made it cool with yourself for whatever reason. But the thing about it is, just like I said, the essence of the case is each one of those people are going to have to take the stand and say, I was a part of the organization, but I did the crime. I did the crime, but I did the crime for him. And that, just like I said, it's I did the crime, but y'all gonna give it to him because y'all want him.
Exactly. So they're trying to minimize their wrong in this, But if you look at the little girls, little boys, and adult women that said he made them do some strange things, sometimes this can, even though they were infatuated with, so in love with it, when doing things like this sexual and you really don't like it, so you're not enjoying it, that can come back to haunt you later on in life. And you can find yourself going from man to man and woman to woman because of the things that was done to you. And it may trigger something in there. We talked about a girl, I think it was the other night, who was in foster care. And her mother's boyfriend had molested her. And so she got out of the foster care. She got a job, got herself together. She met a guy. They had sex a lot of time. One night, comes over on the sofa. He touches her down below with his fingers. That went bad. I mean, he said she got the cousin. She threw bottles and stuff at him. She told him to get out. Don't you ever do that to me. And so now he's like, damn, is she on dope or what? What's going on? I mean, it's sex, right? Well, he had never done that to her. But her mother's boyfriend who molested her did. And that triggered the time back, And so, I mean, so it could be the reason why you can never have a stable relationship with someone, because if they do something similar to what he did, it would trigger that emotion.
Exactly. I agree. And just like I said, like we never know, even in those situations, just like I said, we never know how that affects somebody mentally. You never know how that affects somebody mentally because this R.Kelly and but I'm quite sure at least one or two of them girls, even if they wanted to do it or they chose it, I'm quite sure at some point somebody said, man, I done went too far or this is not cool or whatever. And just like I said, man, underage, man.
You know what? Let me say this before we get out.
Underage.
Let me say this. If some of you, and I worry about some of you, and the worry is about you all having kids, because you have a ready answer for everything that somebody said R. Kelly did to them. You have a ready answer. Some of you all are defending R. Kelly harder than his damn attorneys are. But here's where you're messing up at. You keep going off of your emotions. And emotions don't win a case. They go by the law. So if Kelly broke the law, people, and we know he did somewhere in there, he broke the damn law. Kelly must pay. He has to pay. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. These people, some of them may, but not everybody is lying on R.Kelly. No, there's not. They're not. They are not lying. He did. He did some of that shit. Y'all know he did. But I don't know how your brain is wired there, but it's scary, especially if you have children. You can't keep trying to make the victims out to be the perpetrator. That's not how it goes. Kelly know what he did, and Kelly is in prison right now, exactly where R. Kelly needs to be, or Robert Sylvester Kelly, whoever he is, he's where he needs to be. It's as simple as that. There is no defense for absolute wrong. There's no defense. Get out your feelings. Life is serious. Toby, we got to get ready to get out of here. We're over our time. I know what's tonight? Tuesday, Wednesday?
Wednesday, I think.
Okay, yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. Be it the Lord willing. And so anyway, pay attention to what's going on around you and stop becoming a fan of someone. I'm not a fan of anyone. I am a fan of R. Kelly's work. I'm a fan of my nephew's work when he's on the show, but you shouldn't be a fan of an individual because, as we said last night, they might do something intentionally or unintentionally, and they're going to drop from that pedestal that you have them standing on that they can't stand on themselves. So you said that person let you down. No, you let yourself down because you put them up high where they couldn't stand that. They couldn't stand that. But remember this, it can be your mother, your dad, your brother, your sister, husband, wife, whatever. You can't just look at it from that perspective. This is family or whatever. They didn't do it. I know. No, you can't say that. You can't say that. I hear parents say all the time, I know my child. I know. No, you don't. No, you don't. You know your child from a child's perspective. That's it. But when your child leaves out of that door, they put on a different hat because mom and dad ain't
that. Exactly.
Toby, bring us home. What you got? Some last words, brother? We're gonna get out of here.
Well, like I said, to all the people that love R. Kelly, to all the people that love R. Kelly, I love my uncle because I've been knowing him my whole life. Through the goods and the bad in his life, I love him. I call him wrong when he's wrong because that's what we do. He's gonna do me the same, and that's not gonna change my love for him. But I love him because I know him, not because of his music or because of his show or none of that. I love R. Kelly's music. I do, but I don't know Robert. And just like I said, everything we say on this show, we make sure to say it's alleged. Alleged means somebody said that. There's court documents saying that people are saying the stuff that we're saying, but he's not been found guilty or innocent. But like I said before, and I'll say again, everybody has come up with an opinion, and just because our opinions aren't the same, don't mean we can't discuss it. Like gentlemen and gentlewomen. Exactly. And I appreciate y'all for joining us. And again, I want to say R.I.P. Shamaya. And if anybody has any information on this case, please call the Shreveport Police Department because we need answers.
Exactly. Let me respond to this last comment here. Smith says, and we as Black and we as people of color will sure bring our people down. Let me tell you this right here. That's that nigger mentality you're talking right there. That's the nigger. That's not Black people. Am I lying?
No.
That's that nigger. That's that nigger in you. I don't give a damn if you're Black, white, blue, or green. Y'all got to get out of there. Black people, Joe, we talking about Black people. If you don't give me nothing to talk about, I cannot talk about you. You have to face the facts. The facts are that. We take each other down. That's something I would expect a 12-year-old girl to say. Your parents must be so proud. I'm Al Scott with Justice Investigations. Be it the Lord willing, creek don't rise. Toby and I'll be back here tomorrow night. Remember, I'm not always right, and you are not always wrong. Nephew, get us out of here, please.
Thank y'all for joining us. Peace. We'll see you next time.
Y'all have a good one.